I'll try to be brief. So my name is Emmanuel Travailleur, and I'm an associate barrister at Jurisconsult Chambers, a Mauritius-based law firm forming part of the bigger DLA Piper International network. It's a pleasure to address a few words today on behalf of Jurisconsult Chambers, and more precisely, the Technology and FinTech Department of Jurisconsult, which includes Mr. Bertie Francois, who cannot be present today, and myself. And firstly, I would like to congratulate Benito and Wakanda 4.0, all the speakers and moderators on the panels today. This has been so far a quite enriching event. It is my second year attending the Cryptoverse Summit, and also Jurisconsult's second year partnering with Wakanda 4.0. It's quite satisfying to see how, from very humble beginnings, the blockchain technology and virtual assets are being embraced by not only the financial, but also the legal sector. It's not a secret anymore that blockchain technology is changing the way we think about finance, business, and the economy in general. The tremendous opportunities, growth, and innovation also present new legal challenges that require a fresh approach and a new type of expertise. Jurisconsult has made it one of its priorities to stay always ahead of the curve, and is a firm believer that blockchain and virtual assets are not just passing trends, but are here to stay. With the intricate layers of regulations and guidelines, our goal is to offer strategic advice to address the needs of companies implementing blockchain technology solutions and also deploying virtual assets. Obviously, our technology and fintech department does not limit itself to blockchain and virtual assets, but expands to different fintech projects developed not only by local and international investors. This work started a long time ago with one of my peers, Arvin Alkori, who most of you in the tech community may be acquainted to. Although he's not part of the team anymore, his contribution is not left unnoticed. Today, our services merge the corporate law expertise we have had for decades and the understanding of technology law required by fintech enterprises. We are aware that the financial sector and certain regulatory bodies are still adjusting to the fast-paced development of virtual assets and to blockchain technology. But we have noted a great incentive from the authorities since the enactment of VETOS, especially with the regulatory authorities having positioned themselves on areas which were previously left ambiguous. As was mentioned this morning by Mr. Ashwin Gopi, the FSC has already shown an incentive, for instance, to provide a framework on decentralized autonomous organizations through its consultation paper. Moreover, the NFT regimes were provided with interpretation guidelines, which have been issued by the FSC itself. It's fair to say that the blockchain and virtual asset trading is slowly moving upwards and in a positive direction. Although I myself was, to be honest, quite skeptical on whether blockchain and virtual assets were lucrative and worth monetizing in Mauritius, the variety of cases and clients we have encountered at the chambers shows the contrary, that the future is already here. For a bit of history and a bit of background, we have been involved in the fintech and technology sector from its early days by being one of the initial members of the Mauritius Africa Fintech Hub. We have assisted clients when the trading and conducting of business in virtual asset was still at an embryonic stage. We were at that time approached by investors of various jurisdictions to explore the possibilities of operating a virtual asset service in Mauritius. Obviously, with the VETOS, our services have expanded. We were in a position to establish and understand the legal scope of operations to clearly and better advise potential investors. Following the VETOS, we saw a notable rise in tech investors wishing to obtain virtual asset services licenses in Mauritius, and we assisted those investors in understanding the legal framework and the possibilities they have. Those investors included a major fintech payment service providers on the African continent, which was contemplating to expand its existing market to Mauritius and outside of Mauritius, but also considering the possibilities of migrating to a virtual asset-oriented system. We also had the opportunity to represent clients in front of the court in cases which involve certain assets, including Bitcoins, and also to represent an international trading platform in front of the Financial Services Commission. So a bit of summary of what happened, just to give you a bit of background of practical case of where lawyers can come in handy with regards to virtual asset service providers. This particular client and different entities were using a trading platform. They received direction letters from the FSC requiring them to apply for a specific license in accordance with the VATOS. This was a requirement to provide services to Mauritian residents in the trading of virtual assets. Also, the local authorities requested to all involved entities to stop all forms of advertisement to Mauritian residents and to stop soliciting clients. Our involvement in such a case was with regards to the analysis of the trading system, of the contractual infrastructure, and understanding the platform to establish the liaising and relationship between the FSC and our client. Therefore, with these few examples, I believe it's safe to say that the future is already here, as already mentioned. Naturally, entities which engage in fintech or virtual asset services are at this stage and this point in time still form as traditional businesses and require the support of several interlinked fields. Our team draws upon the collective experience of several lawyers from relevant practices. Jurisconsult is first and foremost a law firm specializing in corporate law. Therefore, the fintech clients we assist also benefit from services in terms of corporate restructuring and corporate financing, establishing their contractual infrastructure, and support in terms of data protection. All of these are undeniable part of virtual asset services, which contribute as much as licensing to the smooth running of their services. In addition to the legal services we offer, we really believe that the best way for consumers, customers, stakeholders, and businesses to embrace the blockchain technology and virtual asset is through proper information and promotion. We have extended our continuous support to Wakanda up until now for blockchain training, as well as for this Cryptoverse Summit. We have also organized a fintech webinar last year with the support of the DLA Piper Network, the FSC, the Economic Development Board, and several banking and financial institutions. This webinar focused on showing why Mauritius is the next African fintech partner to consider by stakeholders. Virtual assets were also one of the main topics discussed during a panel at the Jurisconsult Investment Summit, which is a yearly summit organized to bring together different stakeholders to discuss various topics and how same contribute to investments in Mauritius. We are constantly on the lookout for future developments and how the law will interact with them. The metaverse, for instance, which is the next topic that will be discussed, is already a topic of discussion internally at Jurisconsult. We are trying to consider and understand how the rise of the metaverse may bring about totally innovative legal issues. All of the above, of course, has been achieved with the support of the DLA Piper Network, which itself has a strong presence in technology, blockchain, and digital assets. For those who don't know, you can type it in Google. I thank you for your attention and feel free to reach out for me should you require any further information on what we do. Thank you. Good afternoon.